the road again. We were gone 4 out of the 5 days 2 weeks ago, and then gone every day last week. So decided that we better come back to get our second wind before things start to take off again. Here a little bit later on in the week, we're going to have the chance to stop by the Bay County Fair. That's going on starting tomorrow. And we'll be there on Thursday to take a look and celebrate the young people as they get ready for their big auction. Then on Friday, we're going to be out in Caro at the fairgrounds there, where the Thumb Area Old Engine and Tractor Association is going to be having their annual meet. That's going to be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And right now, it looks like my timing is going to be pretty good as far as the weather goes, because, Jonathan, we're other than today, which is a real mess south of us. They've got some real issues in south central and southeast Michigan. It looks as though by the time we move into Wednesday, things are going to be clearing off, and Thursday, Friday. And right now, I think Saturday and Sunday look pretty much uneventful. So
talk about dodging raindrops. You're just picking your days.
Got to do it.
Yep.
It was dripping last week, but that was sweat off the brow. It wasn't from the clouds. Matter of fact, some folks have been telling me over the past several days that they're dry.
Really?
They do need some moisture. But then there's other folks that I'm driving by and I'm saying, boy, they got way too much rain. Because some of those crops out there look pretty miserable. Right now, though, we are seeing some sun in a few spots. Jonathan, what do you have on the thermometer?
Yeah, we've got partly sunny all around the region. Right now out at the airport, 75 degrees. Here at Radio Center, 75 degrees. Downtown Midland, you'll never guess it, 75 degrees. Little bit of a northeast breeze, 8 miles per hour. And yeah, it's pretty humid out there, 84% relative humidity as the temperature is cooling off a little bit from what we saw over the past couple of days.
It's not really going to go down very much over the next couple of days, but we're hoping that there will be a cold front that eventually does drop down through the state. So that front is going to not only cool us down just a little bit, it's not going to be quite as cold tomorrow as what some of those forecasters had thought it would be. I mean, I saw some high temperature projections last week for Tuesday, 69 degrees.
Oh, wow.
That's not the case. It'll be about 74, I think, because the majority of the precipitation out of the system that is going to affect us is going to be in the along the southern third of the Lower Peninsula, as it is right now. We have been looking at some severe thunderstorm activity, which has been moving right along the Michigan border north from, I'd say, 94 down to the Michigan border. And then we're seeing some isolated severe cells that have been moving through the Lansing area, heading toward Flint as of right now. But the bulk of it is going to be going to the south of Flint and actually cutting through the Pontiac area, and then eventually out into the Straits area, and then into Canada over, just south of, looks like south of London, Ontario. So, and also some very heavy precipitation now being reported in the northern third of Indiana. All that is going to be moving into Ohio. So what we have is we have a hurricane, Debbie, which is going to stay down in the southeast corner of the continental United States, thanks to the system and systems that are going to be affecting our weather, which are tracking a little bit closer to the Ohio River than they are up into Michigan. But we're still going to get some precipitation. I think over the next 24 hours, we could easily see 3/4, maybe a half inch. You get south of 69, that's where we start to approach an inch. And then you get a little bit closer to 94, not only today, but also tonight and tomorrow. They'll be looking at upwards of 2 inches of rain in a number of spots there. Cloudy skies, some scattered showers here, glimpses of sun. As Jonathan said, that's what we're looking at right now out at the airport. And it does appear as though northern Michigan is probably, well, I want to say they're as warm, if not maybe a little bit warmer than what we are. Alpena right now is looking at 75 degrees. So glimpses of sun this afternoon, clouds, showers around, especially after 3 a.m. tomorrow morning here in the Great Lakes Bay area. Our low tomorrow morning, 61. Then during the day tomorrow, spotty shower here and there early, sun as the day goes on. It looks as though the best chance of precipitation, as we said, southern Michigan, 74 for a high, 56 for a low tomorrow night. We'll see pretty much a north and northeast wind, light in nature really until tomorrow. Tomorrow, we could see some wind gusts up to about 20 miles per hour, along with those temperatures of about 74, 75 degrees, and the chance of rain early in the morning. Clearing as it goes through the day tomorrow, and then by tomorrow night with clear skies, 58. Then on Wednesday, sunshine, high pressure over northern Wisconsin. It'll be moving up into the Lake Superior area, 77 for a high, 57 for a low. We should be at 81. So yeah, we're going to be running below average, but as we get close to the weekend, that's where things begin to pick up a little bit. Thursday, 82, Friday, 82, sunshine. Saturday and Sunday, upper 70s, right around 80. I think right now, partly cloudy skies, there might be a few more clouds around, but nighttime temperatures, which is the key, is going to be in the low 60s and mid to upper 50s as we roll through that period of time. Long range outlook to take us all the way through the 18th of the month, average as far as our temperatures go, especially as we approach the weekend. Actually a little bit below average as far as the moisture goes during that same period of time. Record high in the state is 102, set back in 1931. Incidentally, by decade, the most record high temperatures in August were set back in the 1940s. Second was the 1950s. 1930s came in as third place, and then tied for fourth, 1910, and the period of 2000 to 2010. That's about it.
I'm surprised the 30s weren't up there. They were more in July, earlier in the year, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
But still, we had, 4 record high temperatures in the 30s.
Mm-hmm.
We had 11 record high temperatures in the 40s.
Wow.
Out of the 31 days, 11 of them were broke in the 40s. The 50s, we had 8 during that period of time. And then the period of 1910, that decade, 3. The period of 2000 to 2010, right around 3 as well. So with a little bit of luck, will be very nice as far as temperatures go for at least the next 10 days, which is going to give our crops a little bit of a break. We'll find out a little bit more about the sugar beet crop when we have a chance to talk to Kevin Messing. He'll be joining us this month as we take a look and see what's going on with the sugar beets. And maybe he's got an idea of when that early harvest is going to start as well. But before we get to all of that,
we're going to start off our market report for this Monday morning. Gary Kaufman from Star of the West starts it off. Then we head over to Doug Klein from Oppenheimer. All of that's ahead, but first, the weather report today presented by Nutrien Ag Solutions.
Nutrien Ag Solutions has the local expertise to recommend the corn, soybean, and other seed products that are the best fit for your field. Plus, unparalleled agronomic support with products and services to unlock yield potential and improve crop performance from planting to harvest. Ask about our financing options to help you get more from every acre and lead the field. Visit your local Nutrien Ag Solutions branch or go to nutrienagsolutions.com.
they say there's a secret to growing a great crop. At Nutrien Ag Solutions, they beg to differ. It all starts with a strong foundation, and when it comes to fertilizer, there's no question that Titan XE drives dry fertilizer performance. They've been unlocking the potential in every prill of dry fertilizer with biocatalyst technology for over a decade. Visit lpi.ag/Titan or contact your Nutrien Ag Solutions crop consultant to drive your crop's potential today. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Michigan Truck Spring of Saginaw, your complete parts and service headquarters for light, medium, and heavy-duty truck and trailers, as well as buses and recreational vehicles. Quality parts and service at very competitive prices for well over 45 years. 800-358-4751 or buy online at truckspring.com. And don't forget, they are open Monday through Friday up till 11 o'clock in the evening. We say good morning to Gary Kaufman over at Star of the West. Gary, hope you had a nice weekend.
I did. Hopefully you did as well, Terry.
Yeah, I worked outside too much.
Well, we all kind of have a tendency to do that from time to time, don't we?
And I
Too much.
paid for it too, I'm telling you.
That's what happens when we get up in our years a little bit. We think we can do it all in a certain amount of time period, but that doesn't always work that way.
Well, sure we can.
Mind over matter.
That's it. Well, I wish that was the case in Chicago, although, I'm not really seeing any major bounces down.
Well, I tell you what, at 9:30 this morning, there was a sea of red and it was down, but we have come back now, Terry. At 9:30 our time, we were, Dow was down about 1,200 points, the dollar was down, and the grains were down. But since then, now a few hours later, we only got cash wheat down a couple right now. That puts the white at 522, the red at 447. New crop, let's call it unchanged right now. For 2025, we got the white at 598 and the red at 513. Cash corn actually up a penny at 308. New crop up a penny as well at 339. Cash soybeans, let's call it up 3 at 1010, and new crop up 3 at 950, Terry.
So the reason why, first of all, we started so low?
Yeah, basically, we kind of got away from some of the fundamentals, and the energy and equity plunge early today, pulled down the grain markets. There's just a lot of concern about, basically, with the jobs report last week being down again and or up again, and the world fears of recession. Just a series of poor economic numbers, basically got everything on the nervousness, and there was a major sell-off this morning, but I think everybody kind of came to their senses maybe a little bit, and, the funds came back in, and, we started buying a little bit. So we kind of corrected a lot of the sea of red this morning, I guess you could say, Terry.
Well, maybe they got afraid of what was going on in New York and figured they'd go to brighter spot here, go to Chicago.
Yeah, it's just, a lot of, with recession fears. You got Chinese economic slowdown, you got Middle East tensions, and it's just a lot of uncertainty in some of those areas, and that creates a little nervousness in the markets from time to time for sure. So
I guess that's what you could call it, nervousness. I'm looking. I'm looking at the Dow right now. It's down 929, 38,808. The S&P is down 128 at 52.19. And let me see, what's the NASDAQ at right now? It's down 495. That would make it 16,280. So they got a little work to do over there.
Yeah, and a lot of geopolitical tensions going on for sure. So
well, there sure is. Gary, you have a good day. We'll talk to you again soon. All righty.
Sounds good, Terry.
Gary Kaufman over at Star of the West. A little bit more in depth. Doug Klein joining us right now, Jonathan.
Yes, indeed. The market report today brought to you by Thumb Bank and Trust, making agricultural loans since 1895. Farming today continues to offer challenges that are very demanding, and Thumb Bank and Trust helps you stay up to date on industry trends and the trends of your operation. Thumb Bank and Trust, serving you with locations throughout the Thumb and in the Great Lakes Bay region. Thumb Bank and Trust, where relationships are built on trust. Equal opportunity lender, member FDIC. Over to Oppenheimer we go, and we say good morning to Doug Klein.
Well, good morning.
How's it going, Doug?
It's wonderful. How you doing?
Hey, much better than the weather today.
Oh, that's going to get more exciting. I'm guessing, I don't know if it's a falling knife at this point or not, but the markets are pretty wild. I'll give you one green spot. The Mars Corporation, which is one of our favorites, by the way,
Well, yeah.
is thinking about buying out Kellogg's. So they go by the name Kellanova nowadays, but so they're up. Kellanova is up like 15% today, new high. So there's, like I said, one bright spot. Bitcoin traded down to 49,000 this morning, and kind of sort of remember talking to you about that when Russia decided that they're going to put some money into Bitcoin, and we said, we kind of discussed the possibility of trashing Bitcoin just to twist the knife a little bit on Russia. So kind of fun, to see that happening. I'll give you some new lows today. Deere, Agco, Mosaic, Nutrien, Albemarle, Ford, Cisco, and Intel all hit new lows for the year today. So they're kind of getting pounded. And Deere kind of makes sense with commodity prices down. You got to believe that's got to affect the bottom line a little bit, or the top line, whatever. So that's going on. I heard a report that said it was almost $1 trillion lost in the stock markets in the last 3 days. So, that sounds like a big number, but it's a big number to begin with. So, yeah, we'll see. Anyway, a lot of red today. The dollar's getting hit a little bit. The yen is strong today, so that's kind of interesting. They kind of have been trying to strengthen the yen for whatever reason. And precious metals are selling off today. Like I said, it's pretty much all in the red. Corn and soybeans going up a little bit, just on a. Well, let's find something that's not going to pot today. So there's your two, corn and soybeans. Here's your numbers. September corn 387.5, up a penny. December corn 404.5, up 1 1/4 cents. August soybeans 1032, up 2 3/4. Then November soybeans 1030.5, up 3 1/4. September wheat is 535.5, down 3 1/2, and December wheat 560.25, down 2. Crude oil is 73.25, down 27 cents. Heating oil is 229.63, down 2 1/4 cents. Gasoline is 213.64, down 3/10 of a penny, and should put us around $2.80 at the pump, maybe. Natural gas is falling, $192.60. That's down 4 cents. Over to currencies. Canadian dollar, U.S. dollar buys $1.3836 Canadian. That's down 36 ticks. The dollar buys 143.74 yen. That's down 280 ticks. Kind of sort of remember that being in the 167 range. So that's been a huge move in the last 3 weeks or 4 weeks. The euro's at 109.63. That's getting hot, up 55 ticks. And the dollar's at 102.61. That's getting cold. That's down 60 ticks. Gold's at 24.14.30, down $22 an ounce. Silver's 27.44, down 95 cents. Platinum's 9.29, down 38.60, and copper's at 402.5. That's down 7.7 cents.
Okay. Well, hang in there.
Yeah, I'm good.
Get the pails.
Yep.
Just in case we got a bail. All right.
Yeah, right.
Talk to you later.
All right.
Doug Klein over at Oppenheimer. Farm Service brought to you by Legendary Tree Care. You need some trimming done? What about removal of a tree? Legendary Tree Care will take care of it. There's no job too big or too small for them. They are fully licensed and insured, and they do specialize in big projects. LegendaryTreeCare.com or like them on Facebook. Corn Marketing Program of Michigan is going to be holding their annual Between the Rows tour to hear the results of the statewide yield checks. Each stop will include a catered dinner, input market updates, and a grain marketing update by local industry experts. Just go online to micorn.org and register. It's free to attend, but they'd like to RSVP for planning purposes. Again, Between the Rows tour, that'll kick off August the 19th. For more information, micorn.org. Who's up next, Jonathan?
Time to say good morning to Jerry Samolsky from Bay Landscaping and Garden Center. Jerry, how are we doing today?
Wonderful, guys. I'm glad to see the temperature break. That's going to do well.
Yeah, and we got a little sprinkle this morning. What'd you get, about 1/10 of an inch?
Yeah, if that, just not a lot over in Hampton Township area. But and since we're talking about water, just at a job site today, and the plants that were planted a month ago they're bone dry. So how can that be? Well, it can, because the plants have foliage. We get these little rains here and there, and it sheds a lot of it off and doesn't get down to the root ball that was planted. So, again, it's the hardest thing we deal with is how do we water? How much do we water? And the basic thing is you just need to check. Even with sprinkler systems, newly planted plants, you still have to check.
Keep an eye on it. Jerry, thank you.
All righty, Terry, keep checking.
We will.
Jonathan, you too.
Yes, indeed.
Talk to you tomorrow. Jerry Samolsky over at Bay Landscaping and Garden Center in Essexville. Another Jerry with some pretty important news right now. Let's head on over to agricultural-based attorney Jerry Reif. Jerry, good morning. How are you?
I'm fine, Terry. How are you?
Hey, we're doing great. I know you're going to have a seminar coming up, but there's some pretty interesting information here that farmers especially should be aware of right now.
Yes, they should. There's some changes going to happen in the rest of the year. No matter what happens in the politics, there's going to be change, because there has to be. The law that was implemented breaks free of the prior description and some of the exemptions as of January 1, 2025. So something's got to be done. And if you have any kind of an IRA or anything like that, you better take a look at it, because it needs to be taken care of, because of some new rules. But anyway, we're having another workshop, how to protect your stuff. Are you prepared? And that's definitely our most popular workshop, although we've upgraded it. It's going to be Tuesday, August 20th, 2 o'clock, Kapoka Credit Union on Cabaret Trail. That's just south of McCarty and just west of Bay. And we're going to answer all the questions. That's why the discussion's always different, because people bring their questions. We try to answer every one of them. And if not, we offer a free consultation just based on the fact that they come to the workshop. A lot of them get their answers right there, and that's really what the whole idea is. But the best time to plan is when you're not under stress. And this is a good time. There's a lull in the action, maybe compared to the rest of the farm year, and you don't have quite the snowy, wintry weather, so there's a good chance to get something done. Most of what we do is technically revocable, so it's not like it's carved in stone unless you never want to change it, or worse yet, you become incompetent. But there's a lot of planning should be done. Farm succession planning is so important, because if you can't have a successor, then what? You're talking about just a liquidation sale. And I've had too many farmers move on and go out of business. And of course, the ones that remain are doing well, and they're bigger, but there aren't as many as there used to be. So
how do we book? How do we book a chair there, Jerry?
Well, we sure find room. We'll bring more chairs if we have to, but you check the website, which is jerryreiflawyer.com, jerryreiflawyer.com, or my phone number, which is 989-790-1461. That's 989-790-1461. Be happy to have you. We'll fill the house. Be glad to do it.
All right. Jerry, thanks so much. We'll talk to you again soon.
Thank you, Jerry.
You bet. Jerry Reif, attorney here in Saginaw. Farm Service brought to you by Freeland Bean and Grain. Serving you is their business, and they've been doing it since 1983, and they are your Dairyland seed headquarters. Freeland Bean and Grain, great selection of products to help you increase your yields and keep those yields growing. Along with us right now, speaking of yields, let's slide over to Kevin Messing with Michigan Sugar Company. Kevin, good morning. How are you?
Morning, Terry. I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Hey, we're doing great. What's the latest in the beet fields, Kevin?
Well, things are still looking good. We've got a big yield projection out there. We're actually in the process of doing our second yield sample now. This one will actually get sugar results on. And kind of, observations from the field like we would expect after a hot, dry week. Soil conditions are pretty dry. Topsoil moisture is definitely gone. The ground's definitely, and it has hardened up quite a bit compared to what we saw, 2-3 weeks ago after a lot of the rain we got across the growing region.
So next time we have a chance to talk to you, we'll probably have a little bit better idea as far as sugar, right?
Yeah. So we'll get our first sugar samples on Thursday. That'll give us an idea where this crop is at. And then an updated yield projection too with some of these results.
As far as keeping an eye on the beets, anything that farmers should be aware of?
Yeah, so leaf spot is still out there and present. We've been recommending to narrow up those application intervals to keep leaf spot at bay, because it is, even with the dry weather, it's still out there. We're seeing progression in the disease. It's slowed down some, but it is still there, so we need to stay on top of that. And we've actually seen some reports and pockets of root aphids popping up in spots where it's been dry. So if growers are seeing yellow pockets, beets laying down, some leaves that are starting to brown, it may not just be leaf spot or a root disease. It could be root aphids. I wouldn't have expected it myself, but some of these pockets that have missed rain where it's been dry, we're seeing some root aphids actually this year.
Kevin, you take care. We'll talk to you again next week, okay?
All right. Thank you, Terry.
You betcha. Kevin's report brought to you by Foster Blue Water Oil. They're ready to take care of whatever you need when it comes to energy needs. Visit them online at fosteroil.com or call today and learn more about how they can best serve you. We'll be right back. Do you have a yield monitor in your combine? Do you print off a pretty picture every year, but you don't know what to do with it? Why don't you have PC Ag Solutions analyze your data to help you make profitable decisions for the upcoming season? We can help you analyze your data from your planter, sprayer, or combine and compare it to your soil types and nutrient availability. Anything from the planting date to your speed, population, and variety to elevation, drainage, and in-season applications. We can help you make the most profitable decision on your farm. Call us today, 989-868-4444. We now conclude our program with the playing of our national anthem, brought to you by Euclid Avenue Coins in Bay City.
Broadcasting from the Stormmaster Exterior Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City.